We're going to start now by talking about an introduction of how to start working from the Bargue book. The Bargue book is a series of lithographs created by Charles Bargue, B-A-R-G-U-E. Bargue is how it's pronounced. And he worked in collaboration with his teacher, who was the painter Jean-Léon Gérôme. And Gérôme was a very well-known and successful painter in the late 19th century and a very, very popular teacher. And together they created this series of plates. Charles Bargue was the son of a lithographer and has already reached a high level of ability in his skills as a lithographer. And when he became Gérôme's student, they decided to work together to create this series of plates. These plates are representative of the standard of our education, how to teach people how to draw in the 19th century. And so they're creating drawings from casts of antique Greek and Roman sculpture and some more modern sculpture through the 19th century. But you can recognize here the Belvedere torso. And so what we are starting to look at is an expert's classical drawings of the tradition of Greek and Roman sculpture from the past. And so this was a process that was the method for learning, for teaching people how to draw and how to become proficient draftsmen, and also to teach people taste and understanding of human form from the Renaissance all the way up through the 19th century. Now, in the Renaissance, artists would become apprentice to a painter, and the painter would do drawings for his students to copy, and this was called working from the flat. And eventually, when the student was ready, they would work from the actual three-dimensional sculpture, and that was called working from the round. Today we call that cast drawing and cast painting, and this is working from plates. Sometimes we call it working from the flat as well. So for hundreds and hundreds of years, as our education developed and became more systematized and formalized, and nobody was more systematic or formal than the French. By the mid-19th century, there was a real need for standardized plates that were accepted by the culture as being the best models for students to work from. So this series of plates are considered extremely high quality, really the best quality plates from the late 19th century. And you can see they really show step 1 and step 2 for how to create a drawing, how to break everything down into very simple shapes, and then how to have a more complex contour or outline, and how to do some shading to make it look three-dimensional. Most art students would work from these plates for probably a year, and then they would move on to cast drawing for a year, working from three-dimensional round casts, and then finally they would move to drawing the human figure. Once they had finished several years of study, working through the plates, through the casts, and drawing the human figure, they were then ready to go and apprentice with a painter and to learn painting. So in art school, they mainly studied drawing for 3 or 4 years at least. And you can see every single plate is step 1, step 2.